Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It is your boy Izlo33, bringing to you today something that we've done before. It is a VOD review. This time we are covering FPX and DAM1 Kia in their opening game of the second round robin of groups. Now this matchup as a whole, and FPX as a whole during this second half, was kind of disappointing. But as you can see right now, the draft is underway and we've already seen 3 bans, 4 now. So they are Draven, Graves, Lucian and Kennen. FPX are on blue, which is a bit more favourable to them in terms of the bans that you can put out. Red side usually has to ban out the OPs, and we'll probably see a Yuumi ban to end out DAM1 first round of bans. But Yuumi, very powerful at the moment. Graves, the other one which FPX has banned out, the Yuumi gets removed. Now we look at first picks here for FPX. There's quite a few things. I mean, there's the TF, the Rise, the Aurelia also is in there. But Lee Sin is one of these first picks that teams have been going towards. Preferably it's the LPL and LCK teams going for this sort of pick. It provides a lot of potential for plays. You can make insane insects, as well as have the sustain and bulkiness that Lee Sin provides. Over on the DAM1 side of things, they're looking in their mid laner here as TF goes into Showmaker's hand. Again, roam game OP, and that's the FPX sort of style of play. So taking one of these big roaming mids out of his hands means that DAM1 Kia can essentially match the plays that FPX want to go for, as well as make their own. They're gonna also lock in the MF. This pick is kind of interesting. It's not a first pick for teams, but she's certainly first rotation on red side pickable. And yeah, it makes a little sense to me why, but she's very strong in the current meta with the amount of damage the ult can do. Just is able to decimate an entire health bar, and teams will love to use that, and it's been used accordingly with the Yuumi recently, and having the Yuumi just heal her up or use the ultimate, the lost chapter, the final chapter I should say, and combine that with the bullet time. You technically have 2 AoE sources locking a target down and then bursting him out. That's why the MF is quite powerful at the moment. But as we look at the draft so far, he's going to be paired up with possibly the Leona. We aren't sure of that yet. In fact, we are now. It's been locked in. But it's an overall solid combo. Leona is what I would usually pair up with a MF if Yuumi is not available. Just the amount of CC lockup this Leona can provide onto a single target with Shield of Daybreak plus the Solar Flare, that's a lot of lockdown, and you can get on top of them with the Zenith Blade. MF can quite literally burst out a target during that entire period. As for the FPX side of things, Aurelia makes a lot of sense. Flexible, could go top, can stay in the mid lane. Overall, I'd expect it in the mid into the TF, because TF realistically only gets 1 gold card in a rotation off. Then there's maybe the Everfrost, but Aurelia gets the Blade Surge, the Q, a bit more often than I would say a TF gold card can come off. So I do like this Aurelia pick, plus she can survive quite nicely through the damage that TF can put out. She is quite bulky as a champion. Looking to ban so far, Silas Gwen, Talon Aatrox. I'm not a big fan of the Aatrox ban per se, but it has come through. However, Silas Gwen, pretty strong. And the reason that's pretty strong is Silas, obviously, he can steal the TF ultimate and then match his roam. So removing that champion off the board is huge, and it's even more interesting. Damonkia banned two mid laner, two picks that go towards the top half of the map, which is the mid lane and the top laner. They still are unsure of where the Aurelia is going, and as such, they kind of had to go for a ban on either lane. Granted, they could have gone for the support pool, considering they have the Leona already locked in, but that's not what they did. They instead ban out tops and ban out mids. But what do FPX do? Well, they go for the Talon ban, so removing a strong jungler out of the pool, and then the Aatrox top lane ban. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of the Talon ban. It has kind of not been seen too much during the group stage. Instead, I would have preferred maybe a Quiana ban. She's been seen a lot more. She's had a lot more effectiveness during this group stage, as well as in play-ins. That would have made a bit more sense to me. And then the Aatrox ban's a bit of a curveball, I think, in terms of my opinion. I get that it's strong, but I'd realistically, you could have banned a Camille, you could have banned a Jax, you could have banned the Jace, and then there's no safe pick for Damonkia, and that would have been good, considering we all know that FPX need AP in a draft with the Lee and the Aurelia already locked in. So an AP top or AP mid was bound to come in for them. Gragas, I highly doubt would have been banned, and it wasn't. So unless they were trying to secure a favourable matchup, I don't think the Aatrox ban was very useful. But the drafts are over and done with. We can move on into this game, and with the full team comps already in place, we can kind of look at Damonkia. They've got a very zone heavy team, with Jace with the Shock Blast, MF opening it up with the bullet time. Poppy can use her W to stop people getting into the backside, and then Leona is there for more lockdown with the TF. Overall, that's a lot of harassment, I would say, out of Damonkia. And honestly, they probably scale a bit better into the late game with the two tank front line of the Poppy and the Leona. As for FPX, I'm a little concerned, because the only AP source they have is the Gragas, whom is going to be kind of a squishy frontliner in this game. So that pick as a whole is going to have to play quite aggressively. Now, stylistically, this is where these two teams have a bit of a, I would say, awkwardness, because FPX want to play the map. They want to use the Aurelia, get her ahead early, and then balloon the late game through that essential play. As for Damonkia, they're going to look for picks. They've got this sort of split push comp ability with their poke, with the Jace and the TF being able to split the map very easily. You just have to then realize, hey, maybe we can sort of nullify that with the Gragas, who's going to be pushed in quite easily. It is a melee versus range matchup level 1 after all. And we're kind of seeing the extent of the trade going in favor of the Gragas, but Jace will obviously fire back shots and keep the Gragas off the minion wave. It's a standard sort of thing we're seeing. And as a whole, I think we might end up having to see a gank play coming out of Tian towards the top lane. Obviously, it's not going to be beneficial, and he is pathing from top to bot, which is the opposite of what this Poppy's doing. Poppy's cleared bot to top, so Poppy looks to want to get Jace ahead and continue to balloon a lead that's going to be available, because already, look at the CS difference. Gragas is losing out considerably on this wave, and might even out a little bit, but Jace is still clearing out the minions on the turret. He has forced Nogri on the turret, and as such, it's going to be a bit harder for the Gragas to do stuff in this matchup. Now, he is going to not stop the back here, and as such, Nogri is going to have to sacrifice a lot of lane pressure yet again, because the Jace has used his TP, and if Nogri wants to kind of battle back here against Khan and deal with this pressure that's going to come out, he is probably going to have to back and TP himself. Now, bot side of the map, FPX trying to be a bit cheeky, looking for a play here. Probably not going to pan out, as the Jace is able to clean the wave, and Gragas TP's back topside, so kind of a standard play overall. Nothing really there. Jace just stays ahead is the name of the game. Bot side, we've panned down here. We can talk about it now. Jhin is starting to get to a scary point. Obviously, the fourth shot is very powerful early on, but MF's passive with the auto attacks, the first one hitting, is also very powerful. And we are kind of seeing an evenish trade between the laners. Nothing particularly wrong there. He says that as you look at the CS difference now, it's now 10 CS. MF's being, I think, frozen off the wave according to the minimap. She is able to pick up a few CS here, but the minion wave for FPX is forcing the turret, means that they can go for a cheeky back and secure some stuff. Speaking of cheeky plays, Tian gonna steal away the Raptors. He spots the Poppy out now, and he can be a bit more aggressive. Poppy early on won't have enough burst, especially as it's a jungle Poppy. They don't have the realistical advantage of a turret. So, that was very close with debate Blaze Dance landing. If that landed, probably FPX were going in. But it doesn't. And as such, Aurelia goes back to lane and looks to force it back under turret. CSDs across the board, very favourable for FPX bar, say, the top lane. They're doing a lot of work here, and this Gragas matchup is very favourable for Dawankia. As this play comes through, the Destiny is going to force the Gragas onto the wrong side of the map. He is dead. Poppy didn't really need to go in for that and lock him down, but it's a free assist nonetheless. Good play to keep Khan ahead, and Showmaker's first Destiny is very successful. He sacrifices lane pressure, obviously, to an Aurelia. That's not the best part, In fact, that's probably the worst part. But he is still able to get an assist. He's able to keep Khan essentially ahead of this Gragas. And the AP top lane pick for FPX might not work out now that he's been put behind this much. And I'm going to go through the items quite quickly. Jace on his way to his Eclipse, almost there. In fact, I'm not going to go through the items. We're looking at the gold. Yeah, you can see a bit of a difference of 500 gold in top lane. Jungle, slightly favoured to Tian. Mid, slightly favoured to Doingby. And then the same across the bot lane, with LWX slightly ahead. Now, looking at the build, it's kind of interesting to note it is full AP Gragas. That's... I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. I personally would have liked a bit more of a tank. I know that FPX need the AP damage, so AP Gragas is what they're kind of having to be forced into. But AP Gragas as a damage dealer isn't the biggest or highest AP damage dealer. Like TF, who I would consider to be quite a low DPS AP mage in the middle lane. Because obviously you only have realistically 2 damage spells with the wild cards and then the pick a card. That's not too much. As Tian, gonna start up this Rift Herald. It's been spotted. And Damwon Kira coming down? Maybe not. The Poppy's there. She can see it. Uses the W early, which usually signifies to me that there's no contest. And FPX get a free Herald. This is kind of very cheeky in my opinion. Because Tian realistically has no tempo on the map. The Aurelia has been forced on the turret. And then top side, we already see the Gragas forced on the turret, who has just used Cask in a trade. We're not going to see that though. But I presume it's just knocked the Jace away. And I think what we're seeing is Nogri playing a bit scared because he thinks that Kenya's bot side. But in actuality, the Poppy is bot side. I don't know if she was spotted over that ward. If she was, then that's kind of scary. And kind of begs the question why Nogri used his ultimate. But as you can see here, he doesn't have the cast to knock him back on the turret. So that this trading coming out from the Gragas is kind of useless because Jace can just heal up off the wave. He has the Vamp Scepter. He doesn't realistically need to give up pressure. And Gragas is just forced back off the wave. He's low mana. That's a big issue. And I wouldn't be surprised on the second rotation of blue. Or the third, I should say. It gets given over to Gragas instead of the Aurelia. Just so that Gragas can be a bit more aggressive in this matchup. And can kind of deal with the poke and harassment that Jace is putting down a bit better. Because he can layer out his own. Now, let's just look at the items. We can actually have a look. The Gore Drinker finally online for the Aurelia. Jungle items so far. The Phage picked up for the Poppy. That's kind of an interesting thing to see. Because ideally, in this meta, as a jungler who's playing a tanky pick, you'd expect either the Sunfire Cape or the Iceborne Gauntlet. Judging by the Phage, that's not a standard Poppy tank build. Maybe going for Divine Sundra, I think. Unless there is a Phage in Iceborne Gauntlet. I forget what's in that build. Nonetheless, what we actually see is kind of normal, I guess. But look at the itemization difference between top laners and then mid laners. Aurelia is ahead for FPX. Jace is ahead for Damwon. And we were mentioning the mid lane matchup here slightly, so we might as well go over it. As you can see on there, Showmaker is king in the mid lane at this World Championship. He is undefeated in the mid lane at this World Championships. And that's providing a lot of threat to anyone in this World Championships. They're kind of the favourites now after this day is over. I can say that. I'm not going to reveal the results. But Damwon Kia have looked dangerous throughout the entire tournament. And Showmaker has been on form. And that's a thing you have to be worried about as top side. Cask into body slam. It came out, in my opinion, way too early. Because it means that it's still a trade 1-for-1. Though the shutdown goes over to Doinby's Aurelia. That's great. Keep the Aurelia fed. But you're now giving TF, who was put behind, gold on the map. He gets himself a second turret plate in this game. In my opinion, this is worth for Damwon more than it is worth for FPX. Unless they get a kill here. Leona's going to be hit. No. She just walks away. But essentially, we'll watch this again. So the TB comes through. The Cass comes through before the Aurelia is even here. And look how far away the Aurelia is from this Jace. She's forced to flash in order to get on top of him with the ultimate. That's not good. As the Vanguard's Edge is a very strong ultimate for Aurelia. It grants you the easy Q. But you are having to flash as here comes the body slam. Gold card. Everfrost. You're not moving. And yeah, another gold card is prepped. That's how easy it is for FPX to just turn around a top play. And Noguri has been stuck under turret all game. And that one little burst of energy he got there, thinking, we've put Jace behind a little bit. Yeah. FPX just counter that with their own confidence and just take him down with the Destiny. And we're coming mid. Braum using the get behind me shield. Unbreakable Will perfectly to stop the minion wave dying as the bullet time came through. And yeah, perfect play from Braum there to guarantee a kill on the turret for FPX. And with it being the mid lane turret down, a longer mid lane means a lot more potential to roam into the jungle and be unseen for FPX. That's always a solid benefit of taking the mid lane turret. And realistically, that does mean that there is potential for this Lee Sin to get behind this Jace, get behind whoever's in the other side lane, and then just kill them with the threat of the potential being there. And the Aurelia can also be in the plays as well and just get kills. Because this stage of the game, Jace can realistically only be matched by the Aurelia. And I'm going to be brutally honest, Gragas will never match the TF in a side lane. Gragas, in my opinion, is a losing matchup everywhere. He doesn't get much done, but mid lane, gold card, not going to be flung out at the bot lane of FPX. If it was, possibilities of a kill. Meanwhile, Destiny, Cask is used, but the Flash Everfrost means that's another death onto this Gragas. who is not a champion this game. Let's just be honest. Not doing much as FPX crack open a tier 2 turret bot side. This Aurelia, though, has got the push from the Herald. Is going to equalize the turret trade. But she is backing. And Dad's giving up pressure. It does mean that Jace, though, has to back away. Because, obviously, with Aurelia back at base, she can quite easily come up, Blade Surge onto your face and kill you. And we just need to look at the items. And I'm actually going to just say this right now. I'm actually surprised about one thing that we're seeing on our scoreboard at the bottom. TF has gotten himself a bounty. You think this Aurelia is fed, and she's got herself a bounty as well now. It's the bot laners that are... Sorry, bot laners? The mid laners doing a lot of the work this matchup. And that needs to be addressed. That Aurelia versus TF has been a very one-sided matchup in lane for the Aurelia, decimating the TF in terms of CS. But the TF's been able to make plays across the map. And that's the reason why Damwon Kia have picked it. And with the ability to make these sorts of plays, the split push game is very one-sided and very favoured to Damwon Kia. As they've evened out the turret trade, though Doinby is going to take another turret. But, mid lane Destiny, Poppy's there, forces a flash out of LWX. And he almost got killed there. Considering that was a very low damage TF there, whose only AP damage source is the Everfrost. He has actually got a Dark Seal there, but that's not too much. And then a Divine Sunderer Poppy. Yikes, that's a bit of damage. But Poppy hasn't got any other damage source in her kit right now other than the Divine Sunderer. So not exactly much is there. So LWX was more than likely going to survive. He's also got a plated steel cap, so he wasn't dying there at all. Now, we're getting to the latter part of this game, I feel. 2 Drakes to 1. Baron is up in 10 seconds. Teams are going to be starting to position towards it. Gragas obviously has TP, he'll be bot side. But the big interesting note is the vision that's currently set up. Currently, FPX control quite a lot of vision in the river, whereas Damwon are going to be forced in now to clear it out. As you can see, the sweepers are on the field. They've got a ward on Baron, and they've cleared out the only river ward for FPX. That's how easy it was to clear out the vision, because there is none. We're 20 minutes in, and there's no vision in the Baron area. And side note, the reason why we're seeing FPX in this river, in the jungle, in the bottom half of the map, is because of their mid lane control. With there being no mid turret, they get access into this jungle, and they can just take away camps, as well as push up this bot lane, which is big, because it means that this next 2 Drakes, in terms of map control, are favourable to FPX. Unless Damwon Kia take the mid lane turret themselves, it is quite low. They've set up 4-man here. Could go replay. But Solar Flare, bullet time. Good night, Gragas. The TP comes in quite late from the Aurelia. Not going to land the Blaze Surge, Blade Call, or whatever. Death Stance, whatever. Not going to land the E. And it means that no way into the backline means FPX have no fight. And TP burnt and a kill onto the Gragas means Damwon Kia is definitely going to siege and get this mid lane tier 1. There's no real potential for this top Baron play. But you look at him wave positioning right now, top lane is pushing for Damwon, I think. Might not be. It's a very even wave, I would say. In fact, it's going to push for FPX, of course it does. Bot side, FPX is pushing. FPX still have wave control. Considering they lost their a player in the mid lane, they still managed to keep their turret. They've still technically got tempo, even if they're behind in gold. Like, 1k gold lead to Damwon's huge, but the Zenith Blade, Solar Flare, Shield of Daybreak combination means that this MF ult is just going to be fully channeled onto your face. No escape and you're dead. That's the threat that this Damwon Kia squad has. And it's AoE burst as well. But TP coming in here from Nogri, looking to make play for this Drake. It will be Soul Point if FPX get it. Ocean Soul is what they're playing for. Kind of huge as Destiny comes through. Not going to land much here as Showmaker is forced to walk all the way back to his team. The Scuttle Crab is FPX favoured right now. So they've got the little extra movement speed gate if need be. But the flank from Nogri, I don't know if he's been spotted yet. He hasn't. Poppy is going to launch a player out of the fight. There's the bullet time over the top. The cask is going to dissuade the engage, but Nogri's on the wrong side of the map. He's going to be chased down. Gold card is going to force him back and death. MF picks that one up. 3 kills over to Damwon Kia. The cleanse was late out of the Jhin, and because he was caught up in the W from Poppy, it means that he dies. And that's another shutdown. The Aurelia is dead. Everyone is dead on FPX's side. And they're just walking straight to the Baron. As that was a well-executed fight from Damwon Kia. We'll get to watch it again. I'll break this one down a bit better than what I did in the actual team fight. But stylistically here, the team fighting out of Damwon Kia has just been far better. This Gragas has not been able to do anything this game. It's been an absolute blowout. And we'll watch it. So, in essence, Drake's leashed onto FPX. Gold card is prepped for Showmaker. Aurelia's going into the Poppy. But Aurelia's out the fight. That means it's go time for Damwon Kia. Gragas' cask does not stop the channel of the MF ult, which is huge. It means that all of FPX is taken low. Tian goes in on his Lee Sin and trades 1 for 1. That's not a good trade. Poppy is just able to stop the Brum getting back to the Jhin, and Jhin dies because of it. And then Aurelia, who got booted out the fight early, which is a great thing if you're Damwon Kia because you're not getting harassed as much and having to deal with someone in the backline. That's huge, considering how much damage in that last fight Aurelia actually did. That was overall a very favourable fight for Damwon Kia, no matter how you see it. Because it was technically 4v5 through the entirety of it. Now, they are giving up a lot of pressure here, FPX. Because of the threat that Damwon Kia can do in multiple lanes, they're actually all grouped together because of how FPX likes to teamfight. Because of the FPX draft being very teamfight eccentric, it means they have to give up pressure as the Soul Flare lands onto 1. The bullet time will not be unbreakably willed, and that's a dead support. That means that FPX have to cede pressure in the bot lane, and the inhibitor dies because of it. and they all go back to base together. This is looking like a stomp. I'm going to be brutally honest. 11-2 in terms of kills. We are sitting at a 6k gold lead at 27 minutes. And yeah, the only thing I would say that is going for FPX is actually the amount of structures they've killed. That's what's keeping them quite close in gold to Damwon Kia. It's because of the Aurelia early game trading turrets across the map. And right now, Tian's going to be on the wrong side of the map. He could be in danger as the entirety of FPX is coming through. Destiny and the gold card is going to be forced down. The Brom forced to flash away. And this mid lane tier 2 is its seed. They're not going to keep this alive, even if the Baron buff has expired. And the itemization spikes that's going to come out after that 2.7k gold generation off the Baron. I say 7 because they got an extra turret as the Baron faded. You have to realize that's very favorable for Damwon Kia. It means that more items are going to come online. Finally, Leona has a Warden Mail. She's going to probably use that to build into Zeke's or Frozen Heart. I think you'd probably go Frozen Heart in this game to deal with the Aurelia, because looking at the entirety of FPX, they're all very auto attack heavy, except for the Gragas, who is not a champion. He's going for his death cap right now, the Gragas. Not going to get it before the end of the game. That's just what I think. In comparison to the 3 items of this Jace, who just does a lot of damage. Aurelia, though, has gone into backline, used the extra Q. She's not going to do too much. She's the isolated target. The cast comes through. No one was isolated by FPX there. You want to isolate with the Gragas ult. In actuality, you isolated yourself, as the big frontline carrying the Aurelia just is unable to stop them. Oh, Poppy do work. TP cancelled, and the base of FPX is in tatters. TP's coming in from Khan. They're going to look to win this game. This is just lovely work by Damwon. If you don't get why, in essence, they backstopped. They've got into the Nexus. They've just won this game. Perfect plays out of Damwon Kia. They're looking unstoppable here at this World Championships. And going up against the second seed from the LPL, you would have thought there would have been a bit of a better fight out of FPX. And I'm going to give a spoiler warning right now. If you don't want to hear this, I guess I'll bid you all adieu. If you enjoyed this part, leave a like down below, subscribe near to here if you want to, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, that's out of the way. FPX's World Championships has sucked. In the final day of their group stage, 0-3 in the regularly scheduled games. 0-4 in the tiebreakers. They lost to Rogue. Rogue, a team no one expected to beat them. Except for me. I predicted them to beat them twice. But as I say, FPX struggled. We didn't see any of the form that they had in the regular season. None of the excitement, I would say, other than maybe Malzahar being unique to them at this World Championships. But it's been none of the surprise FPX. None of the bulky champion mids carry. Yes, you could say Aurelia is a bulky champion, but she isn't the sort of style of Doinby. Nonetheless, I think we have to end the episode off here. Damwon Kia, unstoppable so far. And quarters is going to be an interesting show. But if you enjoyed this part, leave a like down below. I'll bid you all adieu. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time, where we will be predicting the quarterfinals of the World Championships. See you guys then.